Hello and welcome viewers, you're watching CVR English with Sandeepa Smarani. Well, today's special drive is on complaints of missing votes in Telangana. Well, votes vanished into the air. Votes go missing in several places. Well, thousands of votes go missing in several constituencies of Telangana. Well, election authorities failed to respond. Well, Chief Election Officer Rajat Kumar accept that lapses took place with several prominent people figure is missing voter list. Well, among these, many prominent personalities have come forward and raised their voice as they couldn't cast their vote. Well, to share the information, we have a caller right now we see that Vanita have been calling from Nizamabad. Well, Vanita, tell me what situation you have faced in the polling booth. Vanita, can you hear me? Well, there's a technical glitch. Well, we'll fix it and get back to you. Well, continuing with the same, Shetler Jwala Gutta's vote goes missing. And additional DG Jitendra vote goes missing. Well, who is responsible when they are asking where is their vote? Well, CEO, that is Chief Election Officer, apologizes to Shetler Jwala Gutta, but people question him on apologizing only to Jwala. Well, what about us? Ask common people. Well, all around criticism over the functioning of Election Commission. Well, Election Commission says it will investigate the matter now, but voters question what is the utility of investigating after the elections are over. We have a caller from Nizamabad named Vanta. Well, Vanta, share your grievance which you have faced during the elections.
Yeah. Hello. Is it CVR English?
Well, Vanta, can you hear me?
Yeah. Am I audible to you, Sandeepa?
Well, Vanta, tell me what kind of situation was it in your constituency?
Yeah. The worst situation and the very frustrating thing I faced yesterday, the polling timing was at 5 p.m. My polling booth was number 93, which actually was always placed to be at GC school. But when I reached the polling booth, they claimed that they don't have my name at all in the particular booth. And after that, then I argued with the polling booth staff over there and they gave me some other booth number and I reached there. And the booth number is 95 and the school is said to be Sri Nidhi. And the school which is said to be said to maintain this polling booth till 5 p.m. just closed it before 15 minutes. And I'm supposed to vote at 5, at least I'm supposed to vote, but they couldn't take my vote just because they are telling time is up. But when I reached the polling booth and the time is yet 10 minutes left to reach 5. And I don't know how could they tell me that, like how could they actually leave me off without letting me cast my vote? How could they actually stop voting me before 5 p.m. And I seriously don't understand the same thing. But when I trying to ask with the staff members over there who are actually being responsible for all this kind of handling and organizations, they couldn't say anything, but they just say time is up. And I don't understand what is this. And for the same time, I have some police personnel over there and I try reaching out them to propose my problem, to give them my problems, and the police personnel says that please directly contact to election directorates, we cannot help in any case. When the organization couldn't help anything, when the police personnel couldn't help anything, when the polling booth staff members and the in charges who are alerted to check out everything in detail couldn't handle anything, and they wrap it up as they want, like they started it as per the information over there nearby, the neighbors who stay over there claims that it is started 1 hour late and it is closed half an hour before. And how the timings in being handled with the campus, I don't understand with the staff members and the organizers at that particular area. And I really lost my vote this time.
Well, Ms. Vanita, I understand your downhearted nature in regard to not casting your vote. But what are the actions being taken by the Election Commission officers there? Have you spoke to the officers over there? What kind of reaction did you get from them?
I spoke to them. They just claimed to be said that time is up. But people with me, not only me, along with me, they are around 5 to 6 people, and we have our watches which is showing actually 4:53 and more 7 minutes left. And before 7 minutes, like each minute counts, each vote counts. If they have such a responsibility to take a human votes, individual votes, they must actually wait. At least 10 minutes of grace period need to be taken. And as the voting is started 1 hour late, they has to be extending at least 15 minutes before, 15 minutes after the time. And what makes sense that closing it, wrapping it at half an hour before? I really can't get that.
Well, Vanita, apart from you, from your family or friends, is anybody else missed their, did they face the same kind of situation, or their name was not registered in the voting list?
No, I stay along with my grandparents. There's my grandpapa and my grandmama always used to cast vote in the same school, but this time my grandfather got vote in some other school and mama got in other school. And the misplacement of this votes, and I don't even understand, but I really suspect that there is some gambling happening over there in Srinidhi school, and I really want someone to go and investigate the matter into it. And I don't understand, of course, at the last minutes, there always has to be a gambling on. So I suspect that, and I'm not sure, but I suspect that there is must be a gambling happen in the particular campus, booth number 95, Srinidhi campus.
So, where do you think the miscalculation was, or what are the actions can be taken?
Like probably when they say me that the time is up, just before 7 minutes the time is up as they claim. I feel that like up to my knowledge, like up to my knowledge of parents and up to my knowledge of my friends, we supposed to think that we are thinking that like within this 10 minutes of time they can be make of any sense of gambling, such that like they might be using my vote as they might tick me as attendant, and they might use my vote for their respective parties. So gambling is always there. So I feel if we investigate the matter, if my vote is there, then there must be a gambling happened. So I really want someone to investigate the thing, and I really don't want to waste my vote at all. Why do I waste my vote? I run all away, almost all since 3 o'clock. I was trying to reach out my vote. Sometimes they say my vote is not there, my name is missing. Sometimes they say my voter list ID is not the particular address. Sometimes they say this is not the vote. And sometimes when finally after taking all the effort and till I reach the voting booth, they say the time is up, even though that time is not up. Even we have, before the grace period of 10 minutes, before it's getting to 5 p.m., how can they actually claim it to be time is up? I seriously don't understand. Even though it starts 1 hour late, they say time is up before 10 minutes. This is not at all a proper method of handling a election booth. If they don't wanted to handle, if they wanted to wrap it up, they wouldn't be taking it to the campuses. They wouldn't be organizing at all.
Well, Ms. Vanita, how many hours did you spend in finding your name in the voter list, then waiting?
I spent all around 2 to 5:15, and till 5:20 I was in the booth. I was asking, I was requesting. First I requested like hell, sir, please try to understand. I was trying to reach out to my polling booth. All these way I have handled. I put off my effort all this hours. Please let me cast my vote. And time is not up. We still have 7 minutes of time. Please let me actually cast my vote. And they're like, when I actually see them, the time is not up. They are just packing. I feel they can let me cast my vote, but they didn't do wantedly. And I wantedly say this, and I'm very sure they wantedly not let me cast. And they wanted to use my vote so that they didn't let me cast. And I suspect there must be a gambling happened in the particular Srinidhi campus. And I can be a good witness for the same.
Well, thank you for your valuable information in regard to you not able to cast your vote in your constituency. Well, we see the voters questioning asking as to how they couldn't cast their vote and what are the actions will be taken. But election authorities are not in the position to give proper replies to the voters. Well, but they were sure about how much money was seized and money flowed like water in Greater Hyderabad region during the elections. Well, EC authorities have claimed that 150 cars were kept ready to carry voters. But however, the cars were not seen during the elections in Greater Hyderabad, and it is being alleged that part the money spent for the cars was misutilized. But however, only 50% polling took place in Greater Hyderabad. How can the polling percentage be so low if the election commission is to be believed? The polling percentage fell drastically due to missing of votes. Well, in regard to the percentage being very low in Telangana counting of elections that took place yesterday, we have another call from Hyderabad where we have Naina Reddy to speak to us. Well, Naina Reddy, can you hear me?
Hi, hello. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible. May I know the reason, like what situation have you faced
Yeah.
during the...
Yeah, I went to police station yesterday, and I'm from LB Nagar constituency. When I went to franchise my vote in the morning yesterday, I've been told that my name is not there in the voter list, in spite of having a voter ID card issued by EC, and also had my verification done before, but they just denied it. Even my mom faced same problem. She have been voting for years, but she couldn't not find her name at the police station, and they just denied it. They did not even concern to answer my problem. So this is what happened yesterday.
Well, did you inform to the officers there who are near the election polling booth?
Yeah. They did not even concerned about it. They just said like, I cannot find your name on this voter list. That's it.
Well, apart from you, is there anybody from your relatives or friends circle
even my mom,
who have faced the same kind of situation?
Yeah, even my mom faced it. She have been voting for years. Like not it is the first time. She's been like voting for years like that.
Well, what you got to say, like where the miscalculation was, or what can be repaired, as to see that we have seen a drastic low recorded in Hyderabad, particularly the urban population.
Yeah.
Then what you got to say in this regard?
In this regard, they have this problem everywhere. Even I'm just watching your channel, and I'm seeing all those callers doing facing the same problem. So it might be some rigging or like that. Even I'm not sure about anything, but maybe it's a rigging thing.
So,
I don't have that knowledge on this part. So I just wanted to cast my vote for a better society. That's it. But what does this happen?
Like soon after knowing that your name is missing from the voter list.
I was frustrated, seriously. Why I just didn't travel like to that place, and I got denied by voting for this. Seriously, I got frustrated. Even my mom too, and she argued with them too. But she even got denied with this voting. Seriously, when I want to franchise my vote for this particular election, and I was so I was so furious at that time.
Well, thank you for sharing your experience that you faced yesterday, Naina Reddy. Well, that is what the people's response is in regard to they being upset for not being able to cast their vote. Well, we see the polling percentage fell drastically due to missing of votes. Well, every vote counts as said by the callers, where we see that the voters are complaining of missing of their votes. Well, we have to wait and watch as to how the Election Commission will take action over this. And observers feels that 70% voting could have been recorded if all the votes have been polled. Well, we have a Professor Vinod on call from Hyderabad. Well, sir, can you hear me?
Hello?
Mr. Vinod, can you hear me?
Yeah. Tell me.
Well, we see that the election commission says that it will investigate the matter now. But will it be of any utility of investigating after the elections are over?
Nothing will happen after elections. Nothing will happen. Why? Because election commission once completed these elections, there is no other role, because unless if the period closes, the election commission announces the completion of the time. Definitely, there is no use.
Well, the chief electoral officer showed his empathy towards those whose names are missing. But will that justify the situation right now which is happening all over the state?
Sorry, I am. 1 second, please.
Sir, am I audible?
Repeat it. Yeah. Because I am on the road, so that is the reason I am not getting your words.
Yes, sir. So, the Chief Electoral Officer of Telangana showed his empathy yesterday while speaking to media towards those whose names were missing.
Yeah.
Will that justify the situation in Telangana where we see people protesting in other districts?
Yeah. But he himself clearly said that, definitely he will rectify it in parliament elections, not in assembly elections.
Well, in this process of voting, where do you think the miscalculation was, sir? Like where the fault occurred, or what cautions would have been taken by the election commission?
Definitely, the election commission is the whole and sole responsible, because it is not a joke. It is a citizen's right to vote, which has guaranteed by the Constitution of India. Definitely, while verification of any electoral cards, definitely it is the primary duty of the officer who is in charge for officer. You must be very cautious and careful about the citizens' rights, because in democracy the vote is one of the very holiest. It has holiest value, and also it is a weapon to transform the Indian democratic system and transform the state. From one government to another government. That is the reason it is a primary duty of the election commission to see carefully and verify carefully and protect the rights of the citizens of this country or the state.
Well, as you said, sir, it is a weapon of a country like India, which is democratic. Well, sir, what could be the reason for decrease in the voting this time from 69.5% to 67?
Yeah, maybe this is a technical fault by the Telangana Election Commission. Telangana Election Commission, is sole responsible for that. Definitely, maybe calculation maybe occurred, in technicality of the EVMs. Whatever the EVMs, they performed it, whether they performed well or not, till the date, after 24 hours, till the date, they are not able to announce the percentage. Is it, a free and fair elections, or is it a capable electioneering? So that is the reason there must be, definitely we must, suspicious in the election commission attitude.
Well, thank you for the information you shared with us, sir. Well, that was the votes goes missing in several parts of Telangana. Well, we see that there were complaints of missing votes in Telangana right from the beginning, where political parties have lodged several complaints, and there is all-round criticism over the inaction of election commission. And apart from this, we also see people coming out protesting, especially in Allahabad district, where people are protesting against that they could not cast their vote. And also prominent personalities have coming forward tweeting, where we see Jwala Gutta's tweet has received number of series of retweets in which people use the hashtag of "where is my vote," asking the question to the election commission. Well, we have to wait and watch as to how the election commission will reply to all the questions and queries that are in the heads of the voters who couldn't cast their vote in 2018 Telangana elections. Well, we have Professor Nageshwar Rao from Hyderabad to speak to us in regard to the Telangana elections that took place yesterday. Mr. Nageshwar Rao, can you hear me? Mr. Nageshwar Rao, can you hear me? Well, there's a technical glitch. We'll fix it and get back to you. Well, continuing with the same, election authorities failed to respond is what being questioned by the common people. Well, Chief Election Officer Rajat Kumar accepts that lapses took place, but they are not ready to reply to the questions being asked as to how this issue will be settled. But several prominent people figures in missing the voter list were Shetler, as I said, Gutta Jwala's vote goes missing. And in a tweet that she made, she is receiving a series of retweets with a hashtag saying, "Where is my vote?" from the common people. Well, people are writing their grievances in the retweets. Well, they are especially focusing on their constituencies and telling them that they couldn't find their name in the voter list. Well, we have Professor Nageshwar Rao from Hyderabad. Well, sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm Professor K. Nageshwar. There's no Rao in my name.
Well, sorry for that, sir. Well, we see that several prominent people have listed out their names. They have raised their voice that they're voting, that they couldn't find their names in the voter list. So what should the action be taken by the Election Commission in this regard?
It's true. There's a lot of mismanagement with the voter list. Not only, in fact, my wife vote was lost. My vote was there, and my wife's vote was deleted, and I had to. She could not vote. So that's the level of the electoral rolls. It's quite surprising that in a country which can send a mission to Mars, which can have its own satellites, which can have its own nuclear reactors, which leads the Silicon Valley, cannot even produce sanitized electoral rolls. So this shows that there is a lot of recklessness. I cannot really accuse that there is a political conspiracy behind it. But certainly there is a complete failure in ensuring a foolproof electoral list.
Well, as you said, sir, it couldn't be a political conspiracy for sure, but Chief Electoral Officer showed his empathy towards those whose names are missing. But will that justify the situation?
Well, we don't need empathy by anyone. We need action. If we just empathize with the concerns of those who could not vote, it doesn't really help, because right to vote is a basic right, and that basic right is denied and deprived. You won't get an opportunity again to elect your own government. I'm not telling that there is a political conspiracy. There's no political conspiracy. Unless there is some investigation into the whole exercise, you can't really arrive at it. But whatever may be the basis, whatever may be the accusations and allegations, the fact remains that the large number of people have not been given an opportunity to vote. That will definitely cast a shadow on the mandate.
Well, as the urban population voter turnout to be very low this time, especially in Hyderabad, the voter turnout were recorded low. When this is the situation in urban area, then what would be the condition in rural areas?
Well, the problem is mainly in the urban areas. I think even in the rural areas, the problem will not be so much, because the voter can easily be identified there. The problem comes only with urban areas, mainly with urban areas. So that's the reason, and improper electoral rolls is also one of the reasons for the low level of turnout in the urban areas.
Well, so what could be the reason for the decrease in the voter turnout recorded this time? Because last time it was 69.5% and this time it recorded to be 67%. So what could be the reason behind this?
Well, first of all, I don't think there is a substantial reduction in the voting percentages, but certainly urban areas vote less. There are several reasons for that. First of all, the improper electoral rolls. Second thing is in the rural area, the voter is identifiable. If the voter doesn't vote, the person can be identified. And in the urban areas, there is a lot of impersonal situation is there. You can't even identify your own neighbor in the next apartment. So that's the reason a voter can even feel, well, even if I don't vote, I will not be identified. Number one. Number two, in the rural areas, voters have a dependency on the political class. So they have to depend on the political class for a host of reasons, for a host of requirements. In the urban areas, that's not the case. So people are not dependent on the political class. See, in rural areas, there is a personal and political loyalty for a large number of voters. In the urban areas, such a loyalty is missing. Beyond that, there is a depoliticization of the urban class, and there is a kind of lack of democratic consciousness. Quite unfortunately, in India, people who are enjoying the fruits of democracy, the social and economic elite, refuse to realize the importance of the need to vote.
So, there is all-round criticism over the inaction of Election Commission, be it from rural and urban. But where do you think, in this process of registration and voting, where do you think the miscalculation occurred?
Well, it shows the lack of accountability in the preparation of the electoral rolls, lack of transparency in the preparation of electoral rolls. It's not a big exercise. In the age of information technology, in the age of global positioning satellites, it's not a big thing to have a clear and perfect, foolproof electoral rolls. So the problem comes is you are not fixing the responsibility. There's no fixing of accountability. There's no action for the failure of the concerned authorities. Unfortunately, you can't do once the elections are over. You hardly can do anything. But certainly this shouldn't be the case for the next elections at least.
Well, sir, do you agree that the Election Commission, the authorities, are not in a position to give proper replies to the voters?
Well, what can they reply? Well, lakhs of people, when there are allegations that lakhs of people have been denied an opportunity to vote, they have nothing. The Election Commission doesn't have such a kind of an elaborate mechanism. Unfortunately, Election Commission in India takes care of the superintendence of elections and have unparalleled powers during the time of elections. But they still depend on the government machinery for conducting elections. So ultimately, it boils down to the responsibility of the government machinery.
So, social media is playing an important role this time. Like we see that the problem. Jwala Gutta has tweeted where she received a series of retweets with a hashtag asking, "Where is my vote?" So it is playing an important role. And do you think more number of cases will be confronted through new media?
Yeah, exactly. In fact, social media is a powerful instrument to raise about awareness also. In fact, many people who have voted went to WhatsApp and sent messages. They have even posted the photographs of the finger carrying the ink and stating that we have voted, what about you? So the WhatsApp has played an important role in motivating the voter. So certainly the denial of the vote or the movement, "Where is my right?" should also become a very big movement so that the authorities will have to act. We have seen the importance of the Me Too movement. So there should also be a movement, "Where's my vote?" So why should I not vote? So that kind of a movement should be raised into social media. Social media is the right kind of platform to do that.
Well, several voters are disappointed on knowing that their names are missing. Well, in spite of having a valid voter ID card and Aadhaar card, like how can the Election Commission will be answerable to these people?
Well, it is for them to answer. I can't reply on their behalf. They will have to reply. So if they can't reply, we'll have to use the existing democratic platform, judicial platforms, to question the authorities. And media is one among an important instrument for questioning the other concerned authorities.
Well, thank you for your information, sir. Well, that is what Professor K. Nageshwar got to say in regard to the voters list that has been, where voters' names have been missed from the voter list. Well, several prominent people figure in missing voter list and also includes additional DG Jitendra whose vote goes missing. And people question as to how the voters list is not rechecked by the Election Commission just before the elections were held. Well, however, all-round criticism overflows for functioning of Election Commission. Election Commission says it will investigate the matter, but voters question what is the utility of investigating after elections are over? Well, we have to wait and watch as to how the Election Commission will react to all the queries and questions that are flowing from the common people. Well, to share your response, call on to our numbers to tell us your experience in regard to voting that took place yesterday. Well, we have Sridhar, a senior analyst, to share his information in regard to the Telangana polls that took place yesterday. Sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, madam, please.
Sir, so the voters questioned the utility of investigation after the elections. Now that the elections are over, how it will help? The Election Commission promised to do the verification after the elections are over. So will that help in any way?
No way it is going to help, madam. Actually, the way Election Commission is behaving, if you see, for the past 6 months, all the political parties in Telangana state are requesting the Election Commission, and even they have gone to the court and said very clearly that there are purposefully, with a purpose, these voters have been deleted from the list. Okay, and no point of time Election Commission has taken it seriously. It has been gone to even Supreme Court also. So recently, even the people who were there in the list in November 19th, when we gone to the election, on the day of election, the their names were not there in the list. These sort of malpractices, whether it is by purpose or by mistake, it's happened. Earlier in the previous elections, if you can see that these such a huge complaints were never come to. For example, you take the constituency of Malkazgiri, which is there in Hyderabad. Okay, yes, in Malkazgiri constituency, there is a place called Anandbag. Almost 20,000 voters, they came to the roads. So the way the Election Commission, they did not respond yesterday. If they would have responded yesterday morning itself, it is good. Now they have come today and telling that they cut a sorry figure, and Chief Election Commission officer has come and apologized to the people. It is no way it is going to help. If they want to do, really identify those polling stations, and probably they can even stop the counting for that specific constituency and add them, maybe hardly for 3 or 4 days it will take, add them into the system and do the repolling in that polling stations and conduct. This is the way they can at least help the people and at least understand the grievance from the people.
Well, as you said, sir, people are downhearted as they couldn't cast their vote yesterday, and several voters disappointed on knowing that their names are missing. Well, in spite of having voter ID card and Aadhaar card, is it right on the Election Commission's part of not preparing the list on time or rechecking the names, not being prepared overall?
Exactly. It's quite obvious, right? Even Election Commission has apologized, but the apology does not serve the purpose. Being a citizen of India, when you have Aadhaar card, when you have voter ID card, the name is not there in the list. It is a purely mistake of the Election Commission, and they could have clearly verified. But the problem, what they say is, we don't have the staff. Maybe state government has to supplement and support the Chief Election and the Election Commission department. The municipal team is the only thing. And people say that by purpose it is being done, so maybe investigation has to happen, and the new government is going to come, have to sit with Chief Election Commission and verify and do the proper investigation, and to be punished the people who are behind it.
Well, the grief-stricken people are also saying that there must be some kind of political conspiracy, but leaving that aside, so what could be the reason for the decrease in the voter turnout this elections? Because last time it was 69.5 and now it has decreased to 67%. So what could be the reason?
No. So 1 second, just small correction, madam. The total Telangana state, excluding Hyderabad and Rangareddy districts, it is 80% or 79%, it seems, excluding Rangareddy and Hyderabad. So there is a pattern here in Telangana state. Since yesterday morning we have been watching the rural constituencies and the towns. The huge turnout was there. That means the people who are uneducated or less education or the poor people or farmers, and these communities, they feel that the vote is going to have impact on their services, and they get connected with the government services, and there is a huge turnout and came to the election and voted. Whereas the upper middle class and middle class people and educated and IT sector people, let us take the example of Serlingampalli, Kukatpalli, Kutbullapur and LB Nagar constituencies, where most of these IT and people who are working in the IT industry are working, there the percentage is hardly 47% and 48%. So the educated people, they are thinking that whomever we are voting, they are going to join into the, for example, if I vote to some party and ultimately when the government is formed, the people are going to move out of this. So no way these people are going to help us, and we are the taxpayers, and our money is not spent properly. That is what is their feeling. But for them also there is a clear indication from the government, nota is there. Probably people have to come out. The educated are losing their voice now because of the way of this pattern. That's what is we are observing, and it is obviously wrong from the educated section, and the turnout is 43%, 48%, and 45%, and it is a big problem in the democracy now.
Well, that completely adds to the added, sir. The voters, the voting is your voice completely suits this. Well, as you said, sir, we can see that there's all-round criticism that is coming even from the urban and the rural sides. And people are protesting in different districts, especially in Adilabad. We see people coming out and protesting. But, and also bizarre type of complaints like their vote has been utilized by others, and 50 names are missing, 50 names in one family, and out of 7 to 8 families there are only 2 votes that are named in the list. So what could you say on this, sir?
Madam, let us divide this issue into 2 categories. One is misutilized, or somebody has used it. There actually, how it happens, in the polling booth. There will be polling agents for each political party, and they will, once they say okay, then only the polling officer will come into picture more into, okay. And these sort of malpractices will happen provided if all the political parties collide each other and allow them to vote. That's what will happen. Sometimes if polling staff is also colluded with the political party, it can happen. So in that case, very clearly they can identify. It is not big deal to identify which vote or who else. I mean, it is very clearly evident, right? So they can do the investigation on the case. And the other side is where 50 people are missing in the list is again the big problem which we discussed in the first stage.
Yes, sir. So, continuing with the same, as the urban population voter turnout is low, and when this is the situation in urban area, then what could be the situation in rural areas?
Yeah. See, urban is again, I'm telling, only if you see Adilabad, Nizamabad, Karimnagar and Warangal, there it is again 75% above is there, madam. So the urban, the main I am talking is Hyderabad city people. Okay. Hyderabad city is totally, they are thinking that the IT sector and the educated section and who are doing the business, they are thinking that the governments are not helping them, and no way they are getting connected, and they feel that in the part of democracy their role is not much. But it is not so. It is a pathetic condition. Since nota is there in this election now, which was not there in the previous assembly election, they could have exercised and given the vote nota itself at least 30%. The people, our government would have an indication that there is a lot of grievances there from the section of people. So that's what is the golden opportunity this educated section have lost.
Well, so
and other factor, madam, there is another factor, and let us say the other than Telangana state people, let us say voters are there from the other states of other than Telangana state. I heard that, I seen some 2-3 cases, they feel that though they have the voter ID card, they are not gone to vote. They feel that this state election, how can it appeals to me, and I'm not part of it. I would like to vote for parliament because I'm being an Indian, I will do that. But that is not so. That type of, and maybe some hundreds or small thousands of votes might be there in that category.
yes, sir, as you said, it's absolutely right that people should come out, cast their vote, as they have an option of choosing voting to nota as well. But is the election fair when the names have mysteriously disappeared from the list?
Absolutely. That's what is the day one onwards for the past 6 months. It has been come to notice of Election Commission. They did not take any steps.
Yes. So, in contrast, we'll see social media is playing a very important role, and in which we see Jwala Gutta, prominent personality who couldn't vote in Hyderabad, and she made a tweet where she received a series of retweets with a hashtag saying "Where is my vote?" So, do you think more number of cases will be confronted through new media?
Exactly, madam. See, yesterday, Anandbagh, I heard that there are hundreds and thousands of votes were missing. Okay, but at the same time, from the citizens' point of view, also, Election Commission and other side, they have done a lot of arrangements. Like they have given some of the websites like Na Vote, okay, where they could have gone and checked that. I don't know why everybody has Android phones now. The number of Android phones in Telangana is almost 2 crores equivalent to voters. Okay, so
Yes.
probably they could have, and why from the citizens' point of view, it is not only fundamental right, it is a responsibility now. As a fundamental right, in 1957 itself, we got the fundamental right of vote. And now it is responsibility, and people should feel the responsibility to check their votes and come for election and voting.
Absolutely, sir. One last question. So, the polling percentage fell drastically due to missing of votes and other reasons. People did not come out. Or in this process of registration and voting, where do you think the miscalculation was or the fault occurred?
No, madam. That actually, if you see here, the percentage of missing may be hardly not even 1%. Okay, but it is a very serious issue. Reason? Being a citizen, if missing a vote, even a single vote, is a serious concern. That will not be the factor for the percentage of votes. Percentage is totally different. It's a people mindset. It is an impression. It is a feeling, and it is the system which people should feel it. It is the two different situations. It is not, that will not affect the percentage votes.
Well, thank you for sharing your views, sir.
Yeah.
Well, it was very interesting talking to you. Well, in this regard, we see that people are coming out in regard to sharing the experience, and the response we get where we see voters are questioning the utility of investigation after the elections are over. Like voter questions actions was not taken before the elections. Well, the cautions must have been taken before the elections were held is what being asked by the common people. Well, Election Commission authority is not in a position to give proper replies yet, but we have to wait and watch as to what they will reply to the queries being asked by the common people. But however, they gave us clear explanation in regard to the money flowed like water in Greater Hyderabad regions during elections that took place on December 7th, that is yesterday. Well, Election Commission authorities have claimed that 150 cars were kept ready to carry voters. However, the cars were not seen during the elections in Greater Hyderabad. And it is being alleged that money spent for the cars was misutilized again. Well, this has to be taken care of. Well, we have to wait and watch as to how the action will be taken towards this.